One of the most common questions I get is, what are the differences between the warm and the cold sides here at Lake Anna? Well, there are four main differences. The first difference is the water temperature. The water temperature between the two sides is usually about 14 degrees different. The warm side is typically 14 degrees warmer than the cold side. This is because this lake is a man-made lake that was built to support the operations of the power plant. And to do that, they basically divided the lake into two separate parts. Cold side of the lake, which is the ingestion side of the lake. The power plant pulls water from that side, does its thing at the power plant, and then it's discharged onto the warm side, 14 degrees warmer. Warmer water temperatures on the private side provide for a much longer boating season. Often we are in the water here on the private side until October or November. The air temperature will keep you out of the water before the water temperature will. I live here full-time with my family on the private side. I prefer the warmer waters of the private side because I am definitely a big wimp when it comes to cold water. The second difference between the warm and the cold side of the lake is the presence of commercial activity. On the cold side of the lake, also called the public side of the lake, commercial activity on the water is allowed. Primarily you see this in the form of restaurants and marinas. The cold side has 5 or 6 different restaurants that sit right on the water where you can drive your boat up to, park your boat, have a bite, and then take off. There are also marinas where you can gas up your boat or rent a boat. Commercial activity is prohibited on the private side. It's allowed on the public side, aka the cold side. The third key difference between the two sides of the lake is the size. The private side here is roughly 1/3 of the lake. The public side is roughly 2/3 of the lake. Both sides are massive. If you don't know your way around, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two. And the fourth key difference between the two sides of Lake Anna is public versus private access. Sometimes you'll hear the cold side referred to as the public side because it's just that. The public has access to that lake. In other words, you don't have to own land here at the lake to get in and out of the water, to go fishing and swimming, etc. There are public entry points. By contrast, the private side of the lake is just that. It's strictly private. You can't get in and out of the water. You can't access the water unless you own property on the private side of the lake or you're a guest of a property owner. In terms of the public versus private, the biggest difference that you'll notice is the volume of boat traffic. Naturally, the public side, where public is allowed access to the lake, that side is much busier on the water in terms of boat traffic and fishing than you'll see on the private side. A few final points I'd like to make. There is absolutely no difference in the real estate value of property on either side of the lake. Whether the property is on the public or the private side of the lake does not impact the real estate value of that property. Also, with respect to short-term rentals like Airbnb and VRBO properties, there is no difference in the success of those properties strictly because it's on the public or private side. There are very successful short-term rentals here at Lake Anna that stay very busy and produce a lot of money for their owners on both the public side and the private side. Last year, in 2024, the top performing short-term rental was on the public side. It did about $450,000 gross rental income just last year. By contrast, we expect the top producing short-term rental this year, 2025, to do about $500,000 of gross rental income, and that property is based here on the private side. So very successful short-term rentals on both sides of the lake. My name is Grayson Hoffman. I'm a full-time resident and full-time agent here at Lake Anna. I'd love to hear about your real estate goals.